Pokemon is a game that's beloved by way too many people, and with that comes the really popular fan art of fused Pokemon. This game allows you to fuse any Pokemon you want, dude, it's so sick. You just snag a Pokemon, shove it with another, and you get a new little guy that takes on the traits of both. This concept was the catalyst of my adventure to become the GOAT of the region, with either the weirdest looking little fellas or the dopest team I can possibly imagine. It'll probably be both though. Our journey begins like any other, by immediately establishing a rivalry with the government.
You rival the government?
Yes. as in real life. I just wanted to really get immersed. We then receive our beloved starter, a turtle named the Predator. Don't worry, he won't just be a Squirtle for long. The government then defies the Geneva Convention and combines the remaining Bulbasaur and Charmander into one abhorrent starter. God didn't want that to exist. Gross. The Predator doesn't stand for such atrocities and obviously abstains from fighting. Just so based. And with that, we set off to shatter the laws of nature. We only ran into pigeons and rats initially, sometimes at the same time. Cody, I want you to look at my screen and rate this thing 1 out of 10. Smash or pass? Would you fuck Ratgy? But neither seemed like a good fit for my beautiful boy. But then I remembered a little poison-type boy that hides in the grass right next to the first town. Oh, is a Nidoran
There
good?
we go. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So we caught ourselves a Nidoran and combined it with our Squirtle, and... oh yeah, that thing's name is Spiggy. I ran it up some new routes and stumbled across a ladybug. This thing is gonna become something awesome. Pedro, what is the first word that comes to your mind?
Shiglet.
What?
Shiglet.
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 Better than mine. I was gonna say Gripper.
We then fought some absolute titans of Pokemon in Viridian Forest.
Video? What was wrong with
In
that?
the video, the dude was like, the dude did what I was trying to accomplish.
What is a Weeran? After that, we caught a Weedle named Wiggle and a Pichu hybrid thing, sure, and made our way onto Pewter City, where we made our way into Brock's gym. After Spiggy sprayed some inbred Brocks, we took on the man himself, and one-shot everything since we picked Squirt. One-shot everything in Spirit since we picked Squirtle. We took off after flooding that gym in search of an Onyx, solely for the reason that we thought it would look really funny combined with something. And I know I've been highlighting how weird some of these dudes look, but seriously, just look at this and tell me a loving God made it.
Wow.
Please kill that as fast as you can.
Yeah, that thing needs to die.
Wow.
That was nightmare fuel.
This might be the greatest game ever made.
I'm inclined to agree with that.
I wish it was more, like, I wish, instead of having, like,
I wish it was more
face-
fucked up. Anyways, we moved on to finding a second half to our soon-to-be Onyx hybrid, and stumbled across an Igglybuff that fit the bill perfectly.
I ain't gonna lie, that kind of looks fucking disgusting.
Venturing into the cave, we caught a Cleffa. You're too young for this world, I'm so sorry. And evolved our boy Spiggy. Oh, is he gonna evolve? Holy fuck, Spiggy's evolving.
Oh my god.
Oh
what is
my
he
god.
evolving into?
Oh, he's so large.
A
How does this
Wordle.
work?
So big.
I don't know.
It's gonna be, I think it's gonna be pretty similar. It's gonna be like,
Let me explain something about fusions real quick to explain how our beloved Spiggy ended up like that. The evolution level requirement for each individual Pokemon in the fusion remains unchanged for the fusion. This leads to different parts of the Pokemon evolving at different times. In this instance, the Squirtle half evolved before the Nidoran half could. Not every Pokemon in this game has a custom sprite, because that's an absurd amount of art, so not every stage has a sprite that looks good. This is also a good time to mention that you can change which Pokemon is predominant in the fusion on a whim. Using this information, we decided to reverse our boy's evolutionary track to see where we land.
Yes. Piggy should be reversed.
Spiggy don't look real fucked up.
Go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. Go
Nah,
back.
that thing's hot as fuck.
He's
dude. I
letting
love
out a
that.
steamy ass shit. It took us somewhere. I can't deny that. We then decided to fuse our Cleffa and Wiggle into...
You'd be pink. Oh my god,
It's perfect. Our lust for tampering with nature, which apparently wasn't met yet, and combined Pichu and Geodude. Which way are we
I
going?
want the one on the
Right,
right. The one on the right. Oh my god, he would look
right,
so
right.
funny made of stone.
yeah.
And you gotta keep Rock as the name.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
He's perfect.
Yep. That's Rock.
He's perfect.
If I've ever seen him.
Fighting our way through the cave right outside of Computer City was incredibly easy, as everything cowered in fear of Rock's raw might.
In Cody's track.
Oh! Oh, I don't like Paffa. I accidentally overheard a Team Rocket meeting, caught that, and got back to crossbreeding.
Please be what I want you to be.
Jesus Christ, that's
I
awful.
fuck with that.
We decided we didn't want that thing to exist.
Come on, testosterone.
His name's
Show me what you
Igler.
got.
His name's Igler. Wow.
Oh my god, he's everything I wanted.
Yeah, this is the better of the options. We then decided that it was our time for our beloved Shiglet, our goat, the one, the only, to have an upgrade. Alright, Nick.
Left. No doubt.
Really? Nick?
I know. Everything I want goes to shit.
Never mind, you were right.
I was right. I was right.
Thankfully, Spiggy was able to escape his current mortal coil by squirting on enough dudes. Yup, and he evolved once again. Spiggy's evolving?
Oh my god.
Oh, he's sick, actually! We continued to work our way through the cave towards Team Rocket, who is doing illegal fusions. When we do such a thing. Saw Wiggle evolve into that. Tripped over our Lord and Savior.
What?
Oh my god.
Before stumbling across the Team Rocket testing grounds. Their big bad stinky plan is to fuse 3 Pokemon into one abhorrent abomination. Personally, something I would love to see, but apparently that is an affront to nature, God, and biology. Something along those lines, probably. Personally, I'd love to see what these 3 could walk into a bar and make. This scientist then claims that he has to fight me, threw Kaufman at me, and I killed it. And apparently, this dismantled literally every single plan they have ever had. We then snagged the Helix fossil and got our asses right out of this godforsaken cave. Stumbling into Cerulean City, I ran into my old rival, the government. I have to decline his military application sheets and kill his weapons of war with my weapons of war. You know, in a justified way. We rolled on his... Oh my god, it is a Nidodo. I don't think I'm allowed to say that. Put down his sweet Mantata, sprayed on a Charizard, and then killed an Abra. I don't know why it's just an Abra. Then I ran it up into Misty's gym, beat up her grunts, evolved my Wiggle, and challenged the baddie herself. I killed a Jillibean and followed it up with an Audio. I truly could be saying anything right now, and you just have to trust that those were the real names. When beating these gyms now, you don't just get a pat on the back and a good job, sport. You get some of that good shit. I'm talking Wonder Trade tickets. These let you get a randomized Pokemon that you cannot unfuse for free. It's so sick. I decided to irresponsibly gamble like any person would. And I got a Pokemon named Turnips. It is a Sandshrew and an Ivysaur? Alright, what do I name the Sand/Ivysaur combo?
I'm gonna call it. How about we go with? Let's go with.
So I named it Sanji. We rolled the dice again and... Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's
that
a
shit's sad.
Weavile Squirtle.
Kinda
Is it
bad.
beautiful?
We named it Batty, and that's something I truly cannot apologize enough for. I ran it up through an uneventful Nugget Bridge,
Fuck it.
which resulted in our beloved baby boy, Rock, evolving. Oh, here he comes.
He's not
Oh,
that bad, but I'd
Oh,
rather just
what
watch
the fuck?
video
What?
of hearing that.
was it Raichu?
Moving through the next route, we found a Pikachop, a Papoke, a Poliwhirl, and an Oddmix before arriving at some dude named Bill's house to help him with...
So you fucked it right on.
Yeah.
Oh, me too, brother.
Anyways, we took a cruise ticket for the trauma inflicted on us, and we somehow showed up in Vermilion City. From here, we were able to use our hush money to board the SS Anne, where I could be trapped at sea with creatures such as Growlithe, Polichop, and Krabby.
I was gonna say he looks like a crackhead.
After getting lost for an embarrassing amount of time. Oh my god, what the fuck? We ran into the government, who was ready to throw hands again. But his team was generally unchanged, and my boys just keep getting stronger, so we swept through his whole team and were rewarded with a Sanji evolution. Holy shit, he's cool. Apparently, our trauma with weird old men wasn't over quite yet. Holy shit, that's a dark segue.
Rub. Oh, what? You rubbed the captain's back.
Oh yeah. Now he's gonna teach me a special technique.
Yeah, actually, they hate
Rocco,
that
he's
one.
gonna molest you.
Okay, now it's time for Surge's gym. Yoo-hoo, whoopee! Before taking on the man himself, I decided to fuse a Meowth and a Pidgey. You know, to give the gym leader something he'll be super effective against. Anyways, after taking down the government so many times, it's natural we have to swing on a veteran. Sanji one-hit KO'd Surge's leading two with Razor Leaf, and used Sand Coffin enough times to fill the gym. Sand Coffin! With our third badge secured, our adventure continued on, and I snagged a Belky. Not because I want to ever see this thing again, but for the purpose of getting a Mankey. I really want some weird-looking monkey fusion. We then cashed out on some more Wonder Trade tickets and got, this, and, also that. I booked it to the Pokemon Lag to get my Helix fossil turned into an Ammonite to create my magnum opus. We blew through another route with its set of own unique creatures. I decided I should be nicer to them. Progressing into a cave I was completely blind in, I somehow couldn't find my way out for the life of me. I snagged a Machoke and a Cubone along the way, and named the latter Mommy Problems, something I'm not sure if I'm proud of. I continued my time-honored tradition of being lost until I eventually met a Sage Magpoke and got my ass out of there. This is the entrance. After 30 minutes of being lost, I finally got my dumb ass out of the cave. Maybe my stubbornness is a problem. I finally stumbled into Lavender Town and was ready to desecrate some graves. Unfortunately, however, the government was frothing at the mouth to beat me to such a task. He began by sending out a corpse, which Sanji reburied, his Charizard dead disfigured for the 4th time, and a Gyarados rock hit out of the sky. The government and myself then roll up on some thugs talking to an old man, and the government attempts to convince me they aren't his tax collectors. He fails. We also learn that we can't get to the top of this tower without some fun goggles that we have to steal from a criminal organization. Thank God, seems easy. We continue on, and our dynamic starter fuse duo gets Sanji to his final form. Love that guy. Our team is then faced with a team of Meowth hybrids, and might I just say, that would have been a great idea for my team, really missing out with that one. But after this seemingly innocent battle, disaster struck. Our sweet little Shiglet was no longer in his prime, and instead he just kind of looks like that now. I'm so sorry, young Shiggy. We tried to level him up to redeem this form, but I think we made it worse. But life goes on. As do we. Into Celadon City. Hey, they've got a department store. Maybe I can get a DNA reverser to fix Shiglet. We should just let him die. While we were there, we also snagged a Thunderstone and fed it to our pet rock. That smile could light up the night sky. My itch for chaos was not yet satiated though. As in an act of pure malice, I fused a Voltorb with a Machoke. I'll say it was fucked up that I did that to him. Especially since I named him Lil Guy after it. While grinding some levels out, I threw Butt into a battle against a Horsey, which really allowed me to notice how far we've strayed from God's light. But throwing just a nice ape against whatever Pato is brought me right back. On our way to the Celadon gym, Erica runs into me and is like, "Hey, wanna go into the sewers with some criminals?" And I lock eyes with just a nice ape and reply, "Sure, sounds like an afternoon." We hit up some double battles, causing Butt to evolve, and schmooved our way through the sewer system like the little rats we are. Uh-oh, fucko, there's a Team Rocket base in this bitch. I'm gonna kill Giovanni. We led against his Arnix with our Spiggard. Oh yeah, Spiggard evolved and looks like that now. Hope it's temporary. He whiffs an Aqua Tail, gets slammed, and then one-shots the switched-in Ryass. What a name. Honkan comes in against Sanji, who rips 2 petal dances to get the job done. Just a Nice Ape puts in work against Arnix, and Little Guy finishes him off. Giovanni says, "Damn, you were real for that," and dips. Erica says, "Damn, that was hot as hell, come by my place later," and dips, and we secure the Sylph Scope. We also snoop around and learn that Team Rocket's master plan is to fuse the 3 legendary birds into 1 Chimera. Surely that will go well without any issues. We escape the sewers and are finally able to challenge Erica. But before that, really quick, we set Lil Guy free of his manlet ways and fuse Machoke with a Haunter, giving us Clinton, and Voltorb with Diglett, giving us Douglas. We also combined a Growlithe and Magikarp to make Fish. But to really be ready to take on this gym, our beloved Spiggard had to go even further beyond and reach his final form. Fighting gym grunts evolved Fish into that. While fighting some aforementioned trainers, I may have run into my favorite Pokemon of all time. He's so perfect. At this point, I unfused Omni and Mankey, simply due to the fact that I had too many water types on a grass-type gym, and thus began the search for a Pokemon worthy of my funny little monkey. Our team was really changing up at this point too, as Ba evolved into this little guy. But after far too much waiting, we took on Erica. Bud dived bombed into Exoduo, Spigard pectored Tanape with some part of its body, I assume, and Sanji uprooted her Viobel for the finishing blow. 4th badge down, baby. We waste no time pulling up to Saffron City, which has been taken over by my favorite sewer rats, Team Rocket. Somehow the fighting dojo is still up and running. Note to self, rats hate traditional fighting. So we storm through it and snag ourselves a lovely little Hitmontop, who we combined with Farfetch to create Schmoovement. Oh, and we did Wonder Trade again too, just now the only thing of note I got was Todd. Speaking of omens of death, we head back to the Lavender Town Tower to receive the Pokeflute. And yes, I did ditch Saffron City in their time of need. We're cool and base like that. We call me the government. After Clinton and Spigard killed some ghosts and corpses alike, I snagged a Misdreavus with Bud to create Higbird. Tell me a name right now.
Higbird.
Big Bird? Okay.
Higbird.
Hig?
Right. H-I-G-G-B-I-R-D. Oh my god. Oh, look at his wings!
With our new ghostly boy, we tore through the rest of the tower and met up with Mr. Fuji. He tells us that he was bing chilling up here and we didn't need to come get him, but gives us a flute for our troubles anyways. Okay, back to Saffron. Just kidding. We're gonna wake up some badasses. It only took me like 6 resets, but hey, a quick ball worked on my Snorlax. I named him Van Gogh because I knew that he'd be a masterpiece someday. At first I tried to put him with Mankey, but he just wasn't right. And instead decided to unfuse Fish and put Arcanine and Snorlax together. Van Gogh at his finest. I tried to throw Just a Nice Ape with Gyarados, and yeah, no, I'll pass actually, but thanks. Just a Nice Ape beat up some fusions that he detests as he isn't able to find his own match and became a Primeape, which he remains as by choice. We traveled down a path formerly blocked by a Snorlax and fought a dude's burns, and shoved together a Haunter and a Gyarados for shits and gigs. Oh, we could call that
I'll
so
see
many
it.
things.
I'll decide when I see it. Oh wow. He's the predator.
He is the predator.
I think like Gennardo.
No, he's no, the perpetrator.
The perpetrator.
Yeah.
Our band of misfits, of Schmoovements and Higbirds alike, ended up in Fuchsia City, still ignoring Saffron. We fished and caught a Horsey and combined it with a Ghastly to create...
Go together at all, dude.
Oh my god, he's just a chain
Oh, he
smoker.
looks
He's
like
just
Pedro.
Pedro.
He looks like Pedro. His name's Gassy. With our gassy little Pedro. I'm so sorry for saying that. We broke into Koga's gym to claim another gym badge as ours. In this one, we fought an array of fuck-ups, and evolved our little chain smoker.
No way. Please don't tell me he evolved from chain smoker.
Oh, he put
No.
down the
No.
he put down the
Ripping ass.
SIGs. With Rehab on our side, we took on Koga. Spigard slapped his Venomer, and his Magnifing swept the rest of my team. So to respect the gym or whatever, I'm only allowed to bring a certain amount of Pokemon with me to each battle, just as a heads up. The definition of insanity is definitely lost on me as I tried the exact same strategy again, but this time, my dumbass realized I could bring 4 Pokemon to the gym with me. Spigard took out Venomour before it could get off of poison, and with my fully healthy boy, Magnifying dropped with ease. Then Koga used the most horrific creature as his ace that Higbird went ahead and dealt with for us. Another badge in the books, but more importantly, more tickets for gambling bait. What?
Oh, fuck.
Oh my god. And oh hey, while we're here, may as well hit up the Safari Zone and get some rare boys. The ones of note I snagged were a Heracross, a Golett, a Kangaskhan, a Trapinch, a Sandile, a Yamask, and a Poliwhirl. And with this faded Kangaskhan, I think Just a Nice Ape may have just found what he needs. Fatherhood. He has evolved into Just a Nice Apes. And I also threw together Trapinch and Sandile for funsies. And as our newly evolved parent and his mentor threw down some fighters, we set out for the next city, I guess. I feel like we're forgetting something. Alright, fine. I'll go save the city under siege. My unbeatable teams of Spigard, Just a Nice Apes, Higbird, Feller, Schmoovement, and Van Gogh storm this compound, snagging a Lapras and an Eevee on the way. Then the government, in classic government fashion, interrupts when I'm about to go against a big corporation and a corrupt leader. His team was no match for my fellas, and my raw, unmatched power causes him to recognize me as the big corporation now, and he begins to follow me around. I suppose we're friends now, I guess? Giovanni obviously hates this, and we take him on. With Spigard fighting alongside a Nigiot that was probably terrified an Aquatail would come its way accidentally, we won the battle with ease. The government dips, and I go up to this old man who gives me a Master Ball and a Johto starter. Got a Cyndaquil named Charles and began cooking. I love the new Charles, and Goinchka's crazy too. After making this town wait for as long as I did, it's time to finally beat Sabrina. Charles immediately got his chance to shine against, oh, never mind, that actually might be an issue. I persevered through the gym, despite getting psychically challenged, and made my way up to Sabrina. Hipmime, Esrion, and Alabro all got swept by the unit himself, Spiggard. And Sanji came up to clean up this horrific thing. 6 badges and a dream, baby. And that dream is slots, baby. Woohoo! I love him. Dude, my luck is crazy right now. I'm actually getting such 6. Go back, go back. Oh my god, please go back. He's living up to his name at least. That dude would grip me. I wandered around the region aimlessly for a bit, just doing quests here and there, and I stumbled upon the worst shit in any video game I've ever played. I had to chase a Porygon through cyberspace and corral it to the entrance while the floor was invisible and the background flashes, and I ran into random Porygons the whole time. And this is all to say that what we named him is validated. I'm gonna name him some horrible things. Nick, what's the most fucked up shit you could think of right now?
Think there's a chat filter?
There's not. Anyways, I evolved Garloid into something that really lives up to his name. Like, tell me that thing doesn't just look like he's named Garloid. I surfed on down to Cinnabar Island and witnessed a man get his boat robbed in broad daylight and didn't do a thing about it. This woman tells me that I actually should get that boat back because it goes to Mount Ember, where Team Rat schemes to combine the 3 birds. Cool! Before I set out, I evolved my Eevee into a Jolteon and combined it with an Absol I just kind of found standing around. Goinch also looks like this now. I ride George a little too far up into the base and begin my rat raid. I was on my way, trouncing grunt after grunt, until finally... I had to beat up some more grunts in the meantime, giving Mr. Grip enough time to power up into his deity. Seeing Mr. Grip power up apparently scared George shitless, as it would me, as his strength went through the roof as he achieved his peak. Giovanni saw our gimp ass strolling along and couldn't have me whoop his rat ass once again, which was unfortunately what I was here to do. We walked up to discover this great fusion, and we were met with a Chimera with power like no other.
What the fuck?
Holy shit!
Oh, that's sick.
That's pretty sick, I can't even lie. As a safety precaution, for 3 health bars and 3 attacks in 1 turn, against my 1 turn of attacks and health bar, Charles popped a Perish Song before being bombarded with fire, ice, and thunder. All I could do was hold out. Spiggard tried to tank some hits but got frozen, and he never stood a chance with that. Perish countdown to 2. Just a Nice Apes comes in, and the father-son duo experience the horrors of this world. Perish countdown to 1. Bob comes in and uses Detect, protecting himself from the barrage. Zap Molkuna finally drops. With Giovanni defeated, the birds get bored and realize it wasn't in fact a social experiment. Giovanni baby rages and runs away crying, and I catch myself a lovely little Moltres. Then I made a day trip out of catching some birdies. I also saved this baddie and literally don't know what to combine it with that would be the funniest. But then I yoinked Articuno and slapped it with a Flygon to create Nene Baby. Movement lifted us back to Viridian City, where we took on a gym that's run by Giovanni. How did little bro get here? Our new pseudo-legendary swept through for us with Higbird, and we squared off with Team Rat one last time. Spiggard swung his Aqua Tail through Riperass, something that if I mispronounced, it would be fatal. Glystar met the same fate, Gochamp gets surfed on, he looks like he's wearing a shirt. And Just a Nice Apes played Whack-A-Mole with Electa Trio and Rylax. Giovanni the Rat King has fallen. 7 badges down. And I accidentally skipped the Fire Gym, which was supposed to become before this one, so let's run it back there. With 1 helicopter ride later, we showed up to a locked gym, so I head into the Pokemon Mansion to find Blaine. My ice and water favored team blew through the mansion, and we found his decrepit self in the basement. Yet another unfortunate meeting with an old man. I also just found this funny little monkey at some point. I also head over to the power plant to secure myself a nice little Zapdos. And I also evolved Mr. Grip at some point during this. Okay, I finally focused up and blew through Blaine's quizzes, fought my new favorite Pokemon, and took on the final gym. Too easy for such a man like myself. Our journey finally led us to Victory Road, as our quest to become the GOAT of the Kanto region was closer than ever. The government cannot fathom how goated with the sauce we are and tries to stop us. Nigiat's gotta hate his damn life at this point. I feel kinda bad. Mr. Grip took care of Charsaur, and Just a Nice Apes punched a live wire. Government eviscerated, and it's time to prove myself. My team tore through this challenge, each with their own time to shine and proving who should be on the final team. They soared to new heights and became their strongest forms. We persevered through this gauntlet, and it showed us what our final team was like. Doggeroo is also a dragon now, which is worth mentioning.
I want a Salamence with the Porygon eye.
Don't do this to him. Don't do this to him. He's just a boy.
He doesn't know the horrors of what Doggeroo did. Oh! He's got a flow! Oh my god, it's beautiful. Of course, we got Spigard, Sanji, Just a Nice Apes, and Charles. And along with some new fusions of Funky Monkey and Gooch. Our supporting Pokemon that we met along the way, from Wiggle, Shiglet, Garloid, Mr. Grip, Rockba, Higbird, Pedro, Bob, the Perpetrator, Schmovement, Van Gogh, they're all cheering us on from the sidelines. It all comes down to this. Elite Four. Let's get it. Lorelai's first Pokemon comes out. It's a Magong. Yeah, okay, no, sure. Spigard is luckily my lead, and it earthquakes it for an easy KO. Her Mambro is next, which takes every Fire Blast young Spiggy can put out to take down. Luckily, Gooch electrocutes and air slashes every one of her remaining 3 for an easy first up. 3 to go. Bruno's hot body is waiting for me in the next room. Bruno sizes us up and leads with a Mavire, which we are luckily able to start just like the last fight with Sanji, ripping a fatal earthquake. Psycross comes in and hits Charles for half his health, but our walking continent hits him back with a flamethrower. Charles then goes on a rampage and takes down a Marochin and a Steel Champ in one blow each. Magnanix tanks a flamethrower and bops our boy. But Just a Nice Apes comes in to hit him with a 1-2 father-son combo for the win. 2 down, same to go. Mismabat swoops in just to get discharged on by my Gooch. Pause. Okay, let's keep it going. Just a Nice Apes was outraged at Umtur's existence and bopped him immediately. Funky Monkey took on Wobgar, and although I was scared of Destiny Bonds and Curses, he kept the pressure on and took him down no problem. Gendoom isn't even worth mentioning, and Snorgar got Petal Blizzard on, taking down Agatha and moving us on to the Elite 4th. Lance isn't gonna hold back, but we're probably ready. Dragados shows us that we're smoking crack, and Sanji drops immediately, with Gooch coming in to clean up the fight. Spigard grapples with Togenite and ends up losing. That's a devastating opening from us. And Charles begins to salvage this with an Ice Beam that kills. Tyrandactyl, who definitely shouldn't exist, comes in and kills Charles, but it also kills itself, so I guess we take those. Porydraw trades hits with Nice Apes and then dips, with Typhnair coming in and stalling me out with items like a bitch. Gooch swaps in and pops an Ancient Power, but gets forcefully swapped out into Funky Monkey, who Mach punches this little bastard. A Freeze Dry hits the cowardly Porydraw, and we finally take down Lance. Kinda got our asses kicked, but hey, we can't slow down now. Why can't we slow down, you might be asking? Because our old friend the government, in one final act of pettiness, if we're being completely honest, took the champion role right before we did. So we gotta battle him for the spot. All down to this. The government leads with his signature Nigiat, something I still don't love saying the name of, even after all this time. Gooch hops in against him, but I completely forget that despite his big ass wings, he's not a flying type, and he drops to an Earthquake immediately. Charles comes in and barely tanks 2 Earthquakes and lands one of his 2 Ice Beams before the government swaps out his boy.
It just missed! Charles, you're useless! Oh, no, mind. It's kinda goated, actually.
Why is he so bad?
What the fuck is that thing? We're now fighting Tartor, I guess. Charles nearly one-taps it, but sadly can't hold on with 1 HP. The government then does what I can only define as a big stinky dookie moment, and pops every single heal it has access to on this awful Pokemon. Monkey and I take advantage of this and revive all of my fallen homies so far.
Why does this guy keep using full restore?
I don't know, but he's wasting them all on this piece of shit. He can only use so many in a fight, so he's used like all of them on this thing.
And now he's missing everything.
He's missed every Zen headbutt, and I could just Mach punch him, he's dead.
And I got to res 2 of my Pokemon for free.
Charsaur's up next, and him and Spigot face off one last time, with our beloved starter unfortunately echoing his first ever encounter with this creature. Charles comes in, and a dastardly plot to perish song this tank begins to take shape.
Alright, as long as this doesn't kill. Alright,
Come
this
on.
thing's dead for sure.
What is Perish song?
Everything on the field dies in 3 turns. If you don't,
So what,
as long as you don't swap it out, so...
Oh, so you have to sacrifice
That is
Charles.
a gross move.
It's gross, but it's pretty sick.
Unfortunately,
Fuck!
Oh my god. I think I
He
actually-
withdrew! Fuck! That's so bad!
Ninja squares off with just a nice apes, who pummels him without a second thought.
Oh, Charizard's coming back out. Guess what? Motherfucker, Charles is back!
Charles then tries the exact same plan on Charizard to the exact same avail. Who could have seen that coming? Right Mortar then tries to fight our monkeys, but can't take down the duo.
The round he dies?
Maybe.
Charles then tries the exact same strategy again, but this time is unable to swap out due to a fire spin, leaving Sanji to clear the Electados that swap set. We then trade Funky Monkey's life for Charles and Perish Song this thing one last time. Really wasn't giving up on this strategy. He finally doesn't swap out, and we take him down. We then bop a Starkazam that I completely forgot was in this battle, and claim our rightful title as the champion of the region. A journey of genetic manipulation and friendship was not something I thought would be this fun, but man was I wrong. My goated team, the government defeated, it all really came together at the end, man. Thus ends my adventure of becoming the goat of the region with the weirdest little guys that I could come up with. Now all that's left is to open this letter inviting me to the next region. Oh wait?
I'm gonna give you the legendary Stragastuno.
This is a new Bark Town, the Johto region. Yep, alright, there's a whole lot.